بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. This is an introductory video for Khebire Academy. We're launching this academy at the EMC convention July 10th to 14th. This is an intro, a brief intro to begin with. The name Khebire, especially our youth, have really no inkling about the name, about the history of a martyr, Khebire. He was an icon in the 20th century back home, born around 1902, I think, in Massawa, and some they say in Asab, and then completed his primary education in Massawa, eventually going to Cairo and getting his law degree. He came back, worked with the Italian colonialists there as an interpreter, and eventually went to Yemen diplomatic circle and worked at their offices in Yemen. History tells us that he was one of the three mediators when the conflict between Yemen and Saudi Arabia arose. He was a well-known figure that brought peace to those two countries. He came back, and at the time of Second World War II, pre-Second World War, he fought to organize the Eritrean people without distinction of their religion or background, to see to it that, independence is in their interest. He tried to do that with both the Christians and Muslims, and he was one of the initiators or starters of Mahbar Fagr Hagar. Ethiopia started to intervene with all its might, and the superpowers too. So the will of the people was crushed. Many of the Eritrean Christians thought that their benefit is to go with Ethiopia, so they went with the Andinet party that advocated unity with Ethiopia as one. After that, after he saw the balance, he went and he started Al-Rabita al-Islamiyya together with the Muslim region. Even at that time, being a diplomat that he was, he started working with the Christians, with some of the Christians who were willing to still fight for the independence of the country. Eventually, the issue of Eritrea was to be brought in front of the UN, and he was one of the three who were going to represent the case of the Eritrean case and deliberate on it. One night before, or few days before, he was shot and assassinated in Asmara, and he was buried in 1947. This is a brief history about Khebire. The sad thing is, many have forgotten Khebire or misrepresented him as one that fought for the Muslims only. His legacy should be corrected and brought to light. This is a minor attempt to do that. So he is a hero and a martyr. It has to be remembered as such. And he was an Eritrean hero, and he martyred for Eritrea, for everybody. So the second question is, why do we need the Khebire Academy? Yes, we have our local communities, and we have even EMC, but the rate at which progress goes at EMC or at the local is very slow. Someone who has an idea is restricted by someone who may not fathom the depth of that idea and vision, so he's restricted by the lower denominator. So I thought better to work with the youth, especially through Khebire Academy. Khebire Academy is going to have an English, Tigrinya, and an Arabic version. At this stage is bringing videos and writings from other people and presenting it, or highlighting it, or commenting on it. Hopefully brief video, but like I always say, progress is cumulative. It's a trickle-down phenomenon. So day after day, if we follow those selected topics, we're going to benefit, especially for the youth. The youth, yes, you're doing good at school, you're graduating, you're having your master's, your bachelor's, but there are things that are missing. And this is common. It's not only for you, it's anyone. We went through it. At that age, at 20 to 25 to 30, you think you mastered the world. You have not. There are so many things that you miss, and Khebire Academy is here to bridge that gap and furnish the necessary life information to you. So we're going to have that in English for you, and in Tigrinya, and in Another issue that I have to mention is the purpose is not to focus on one group, one part, but it's a wide net. Anyone who wants to participate is welcome. This is in keeping with the legacy of Khebire, as I mentioned earlier. Khebire was not the Jabarti only. Khebire was not for the highlands only. By virtue of lineage, he's mixed. Good. He was able to bring everybody together. So we need to keep that legacy. So Khebire is open to any. Another thing, even though we're willing at this stage to present on the deen side, on the religious side is Islamic, we have a plan to widen that so that we bring comparative religion, we go to the similarities and difference and the creed of each. So that is going to require time, but we plan to do that. One of the reasons is to bridge the widening within our communities between the young and the it's natural. Since we were born in a different era, in a different place, came through with completely different mindset, and the youth are born here mostly, we recognize that. What we need to do is bridge the two together without imposing on the youth to follow our way. They need to know their history, their lineage, their deen, and we plan to do that, inshallah. Khebire Academy is meant to be a learning and training academy for all interested, primarily in three: the deen, health, and the creation of wealth. In my observation, in my work, EMC and local communities, I have come to look at a focused approach. If we focus on those three items that I mentioned, the deen, the health, the techniques, and practice creation of wealth, they encompass almost a big portion of life. When I say health in all its divisions. When I say wealth, it starts with the individual, the techniques, personal finance, how start with that, the creation of wealth. I always say it should be taken as a right for someone to retire at 50. To some, this looks like an unattainable dream, but really it's not. One thing going for the youth is time. Time is of the essence. For you to create wealth, number one thing you need is time, and you're still young. So we plan to use that and create, projects and presentation structure guidance for the youth to have distinct, clear plan. Retire at 50. If someone accepts this proposal and works on, 100% sure it's going to be better than the one who did not heed this call and went on, spending money as usual. So there are benefits to be had, and we will work on that. We're going to present, like I said, religious topics representing the deen, health topics, the basics of health education, and this is not going to focus solely on modern medicine, but we have a prophetic tradition, wonderful prophetic tradition that needs to be known, practiced by all. Those are few ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ that summarize the course and gives you a tool to maintain a healthy lifestyle. We plan to introduce those. And wealth management, like I said, it starts with the personal, and then we go into different aspects of creation of wealth. We may even go into creating groups, investment groups. We may have models of businesses that our community can handle, and some of us become dedicated mentors to bring that to reality. There are few business models that we know and that can be implemented in our communities. So, we're going to produce for free. Anyone who is interested, wants to know things that I know personally, some others, we will furnish them for free. When presenting the deen, the idea is not to vilify, create wedges, but in following what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us, which is not to compartmentalize and act as each on his or her own, but to come together, to know each other, each other's religion, each other's tradition, and come together as an act as civilized. We get along perfectly well in America with the Jew, with the Korean, with the Vietnamese, with everybody. We have to do exactly the same, if not more, with our people. So this is one of the ideas. This is an open platform for all and going to favor one against the other. So we need to know that. It's an open platform. Khebire Academy, like I said, is going to, inshallah, provide mentorship and professional development trainings. We're going to have seminars, localized seminars or regional. We're going to have a presence at EMC convention. We're going to have local group who want to take it further, create a group in investment in whatever media we deal with. So they will have full support from Khebire Academy, including financial. So we're going to do that. From time to time, we may have pick and train or go to a community, share Khebire Academy with them and solicit their support. Without which, Khebire Academy is going to be website will go nowhere. Your interaction, especially the youth, just don't brush off the emails, the texts. That take that time is 5-minute time, 2-minute time, and like I said, progress is cumulative. It doesn't come one day. So as you go and read and you follow our videos, you're gonna have a wider knowledge about things, and that's what we want you to do. That's the basics of leadership. Someone has to lead himself first and has to know the techniques to do that. Is the deen, is maintaining the health, creating the wealth, is the tazkiyah, the purification of the soul, the character building. All that creates a wholesome person that is going to be fit to lead himself, lead his family, lead his community, lead a country, lead a world. No limit. You guys have all what it takes. Be whatever you want to be. You have proven to yourself by going to school and finishing your schools and excelling in those. Another thing is this platform, like I said, is going to have in all those 3 languages. One of the vision and the mission of this academy to give the right Islamic, or to furnish Islam as it should be seen, not as what people see in the media. Especially this is to the Tigrinya speaking in Eritrea and in Ethiopia and everywhere. We want them to know Islam for what it is. And if we do not do that, who is going to do that? So this is part of da'wah, without pressuring, without exerting any pressure, without belittling the other person's belief and culture. We're going to do that. And the aim is what they say. People are enemies. In Arabic they say, "An-nasu a'da'u ma jahilu." People are enemies of what they do not know. They could have a different perception. They have heard it from media, belittling Islam, vilifying Muslims. So we want them to have a source where they can go and learn Islam for what it is. And this should lead to mutual understanding and respect of each other's culture and deen, and eventually creating peace in Eritrea and the region for all of us, so that we will focus on development, on things that are important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as it is in Quran, there is no compulsion in deen. We're supposed to provide information to people. After that, it's none of our business. Our business is in this dunya, for people to live nice, harmoniously, in peace, and develop. This is in dunya. In akhirah, it's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the judge. And we focus on purifying our souls and ourselves and doing the right thing and propagating that to all. This is in brief. Inshallah, many of you are going to see you at the convention. We have KhebireAcademy.org, and we're going to have this posted on YouTube and other medias. And please go and register yourself so that, or follow us, so that we'll provide you with newer information every time. And spread the word. That in itself is da'wah. You have done your part. Spread that word and send it to your friends, to 20, 40, 50 words. And this is for the benefit of all. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.